Oh my goodness. Growing up watching classic rom-coms of the 90s and late 80s.
Okay. Rom-com, romantic comedies.
Okay. Yes. I mean, I'm talking Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan, Julia Roberts and anyone, Sandra Bullock, Keanu Reeves. I mean, these were like the chemistries that made going to the movies and falling in love for me, in that generation, that was our ticket. And that was, I think really Julia Roberts kind of nailed it for me because she has cackle that I seem to also have. And I'm like, oh my God, she makes it look cool. She makes it acceptable. People are like falling in love with her and that loud laugh. Like mine. So like that's my niche. It's film. It's the only place it's appreciated.
The only way it'll fit. It's in front of the camera.
Can't be a surgeon with an annoying cackle. So I knew what I was meant to be doing.
That's cool.
Honestly, just from the time that, like, as far back as I can remember, like 2-3 years old, when I learned how to read, I was reading. Like, I've been fascinated with just other people's stories, other people's worlds, their experiences. Like, those things just move me. Like, I would sit in front of my grandmother and just have her tell me stories of when she was younger. Like, all of those things just fascinate me. And I would just sit in my room and read all day. I would finish books on top of books on top of books, just like in a matter of days. And I would read out loud, and I would act out every single character in that book. And I don't know, it was just my thing. I loved it. I craved it. And I've always been fascinated with film. Just like I said, with other people's stories. Like, it does something for me.
So you're like a natural born storyteller, like from the beginning. That's good.
It's important to me, and I think it makes such an impact in people's lives, like myself and other people that watch it, to just be able to see themselves through another person's eyes. Like, I think that it's world shaping.
Very honestly and quite candidly, I never saw myself acting. I didn't grow up in the idea like, I want to be an actor. I shouldn't say recently now, but about 10 years ago or so, a gentleman, I have to give credit where credit is due, of course. I was supposed by a dude, Chelvert J. Everybody, I guess, around this thing, really knows Chelvert, approached me about an opportunity to act. And quite honestly, I was like, no. But Chelvert saw something, I guess, in me that I didn't see in myself, man. And I think his encouragement to push through of what I thought was I'm not that guy. And still, quite honestly, battled that, not being an actor. But his encouragement, he really pushed me to do this. And since my meeting with him and from there, I met several other directors through my life, including yourself. And you guys have kind of just been my push, because I'm still not that
guy. Well, I know people are going to look at this film and know that you are good at what it is that you do. Of course.
I think I was always a character as a kid growing up. So I was in ballet, because it's every little girl's doing that. I started taking voice lessons pretty young because my mom would catch me playing with my Barbies, singing songs and turning things into musicals. So that was already developing. I think the push was I was taking photos inside of Walmart, like, the old school, like a photographer sits you with the background. So my mom, she used to take all the kids to do that. And I probably was, being an absolute mess character, acting up. And the guy there tells her, have you ever considered her doing any type of theater, musical theater stuff? And my mom was like, no, that was not a thing. So normal people would put their child in like community theater. No, my mom read in the paper that like Seaside Music Theater that was based out of Daytona, which is a professional theater, were hiring non-equity actors as orphans in the musical Annie.
So you took a trip.
Oh yeah. So we drive there. We had no idea what we're doing. Okay.
We'll figure it out when we get there.
Yes,
where we're going.
We go with my Walmart headshot. And I think I sang like Memory from Cats or something like that. Was the only musical song we knew. And I recited a monologue, but it was like a poem that we had clipped from some children's book. That was my monologue.
Was it like Dr. Seuss or?
No, I don't even remember what it was, but I literally remember looking back that I read a poem as my monologue.
Wow, okay.
So there's like 200 little girls there that have all been acting now for quite a few years. Like they're like, this is my chance. This is like a paid
So
job.
how old are you?
I'm 7.
Okay, all right.
I'm just living my best life. Like this is so
7, like,
fun, right? So we do the audition. We end up getting a call back. Had no idea what that was, but we were like, yeah, we'll show up. We get the call back, and then I'm casted as one of the orphans in the show. And this show, I mean, they brought in the director, the choreographer, everyone's from Broadway. The girl who played Annie was coming from an off-Broadway production of Annie that was touring. So like these are like legit people.
Yeah.
I've never done this in my life. Like I have like a wrangler, like there's stuff going on, like it was wild. But I fell in love.
That's
like it was the coolest thing in the whole world. We did 20 shows consecutively.
What?
I got paid for it. I'm sure by the end of like us driving and my parents paying for non-comp tickets every night, we made nothing off of that show. But as a kid, it was like I was bitten by the theater bug. That's all I wanted to do.
That's
so that turned into going to performing arts middle school and high school. And then as I got into college, I really kind of shifted gears more into vocal performance. And then church music was my second major. So all that kind of shifted. But my whole, since I was 7, I mean, this is what I wanted to do.